Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another firearms related video. Today I'm coming to you with the truth about the SIG P365XL Spectre Comp Part 1. So like you, I've watched pretty much every YouTube video on this gun, the new SIG P365XL Spectre Comp. That's kind of a mouthful, so I'll probably refer to it as the Spectre Comp more often than not during the video. Now, I'm a SIG fan. You know that if you're a subscriber to my channel. I'm a big fan of the P365. I do have the original XL, 365XL here. I've got a Romeo Zero optic on top of it. And I do have the original P365. It's here in this pocket holster because I do normally pocket carry that. So this new, decidedly premium version of the P365XL certainly piqued my interest when I first found out about it. And I will tell you that I carry the standard P365 much more than the XL simply because it's easy and I'm lazy, like most people. I, again, pocket carry the P365. I can just grab and go without attaching a holster to my belt. I throw a 12 round backup mag into my back pocket and I'm good to go. Now I do have a great comfortable appendix inside the waistband holster for the P365XL. I've previously reviewed this here on the channel. But I just end up carrying the P365 much more, purely out of, again, convenience. But I want to carry the XL more because I do shoot it considerably better than the P365, both because of the size and because the XL does have the Romeo Zero optic mounted to it, and I do tend to shoot with a red dot better than I do with irons. The XL is actually enjoyable to shoot, more so than compared to the P365, which isn't punishing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just not going to be a gun that I'm going to go out and burn 200 rounds through shooting at the range just for giggles. So my hope is the P365XL Spectre Comp will motivate me to carry it more than the P365. Now again, this video is my part 1 of what will be a 2-part series. Part 1 will be the non-shooting review. I just got the gun yesterday and of course it immediately started raining and it is still raining today. The range will probably be a mess all weekend, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to video a range review, but it will come probably sometime within the next couple of weeks. As an aside, if California ever wanted to put an end to the droughts that they have out there, all they would have to do is invite me to come to a gun store and sell me a gun, because that would cause it to rain. Now, I'm calling this series The Truth About the P365XL Spectre Comp for a few different reasons. One, as of this recording, I don't think there are a lot of these guns in the hands of consumers who have actually bought them. Nearly all the reviews I've seen, which are now nearly a month old at this point, were pre-release guns or sent to YouTubers just as the 365XL Comp, Spectre Comp, was being sent by SIG to YouTubers for review. Now, does that suggest or mean that I think that those reviewers are in some way lying to you? No. SIG has sent me guns to review before too, and sure, there's a lot of motivation to say nice things and gloss over the not so nice things so that SIG continues to send nice stuff. I understand that, I get it. But I've never lied about a product that SIG or anyone else has sent to me for that matter. So I don't necessarily think that anyone else is either. But what I do think is that people may be overstating the benefit of the integrated comp that's here in the slide. You kind of see it here. I think they're overstating that benefit that it provides to the overall shooting experience, or maybe more accurately, they're misattributing the reason why the Spectre Comp is more controllable and feels more comfortable than the standard XL. I have a theory about this, which I plan to test. And that theory is that most YouTubers have failed to compare these guns correctly. A lot of the videos that I've seen on the Spectre Comp do compare it to the original P365XL. And again, I don't think they're doing it correctly. Why? Because they didn't swap the grip modules out when they did their shooting tests. Now, my non-shooting first impressions of the Spectre Comp is that the biggest improvement over the original P365XL is in the grip texturing. And I'll give you a little better view of that here. Here is the Spectre Comp grip texturing as compared to the original texturing here. I'm guessing they're both laser cut, but this seems more like a traditional stipple, grip stipple, whereas SIG has said this is definitely laser cut on the Spectre Comp. Now, a gun that you can hang on to is a more controllable gun to shoot at speed. Now, this is something that competition shooters like myself really and truly understand. If most tactical shooters were to pick up and hold most competition shooter pistols, they'd cry and bleed because most competition shooters have extremely aggressive grip texturing on their pistols. The what I call first generation texture on the P365 and P365XL was okay. It wasn't bad, but the new grip texture is next level better. Prior to this gun, I think the best original equipment manufacturer grip texture, OEM grip texture on a firearm was hands down the M&P 2.0 grip texture. Here's my M&P 2.0 compact. And again, I've always loved the 2.0 grip texture. One of the reasons why I keep a couple of these around in my collection. Again, for years I've called the M&P 2.0 the best grip texture from any manufacturer out of the box. And I think the P365XL Spectre Comp grip texture may be as good as the M&P 2.0. It's very close. I'll need to do some more testing on the range to confirm that. And it really does look fantastic. I do like the look of it very much. Many of the videos that I saw coming out from YouTubers who got guns sent from SIG showed them shooting the original P365XL, then comparing that to the P365XL Spectre Comp. And every single one of those reviewers said the exact same thing, that the Spectre Comp shot flatter and was more controllable than the original P365XL. And they attributed that improved shooting experience entirely to the new integrated compensator in the slide on the Spectre Comp. Now, the beauty of the P365 platform is that, like the SIG P320, the fire control group, or the FCU, the fire control unit, can come out so that you can part swap to your heart's content. In my testing, I'm going to shoot the P365XL with both the standard and the new grip modules, and then I'll compare that with the Spectre Comp, and again, I'll use both grip modules on that as well. And I'll really try to get a good sense for how much of the improved shooting experience is coming from the Comp, and how much is really because of the added grip from the new laser cut grip module. Now, I think outside of answering the question of does it really shoot better and how much better, the other big question people are asking is the gun worth $1,300? Again, it's got an MSRP of $1,299, and that's really debatable. There's certainly nothing on the market quite like the Spectre Comp here. It really is pretty unique, and I'm sure that if it turns out to be a market success, like it appears as though it's going to be, because it's sold out pretty much anywhere you try to look for it. I had kind of a hard time finding mine. I'm sure Springfield Armory will release their cheaper ripoff of this gun in 3, 2, 1. Seriously though, it's a crap load of money that SIG is asking for this gun. And even though SIG slapped Custom Works on the slide, you can kind of see it there. Realistically, there is nothing particularly custom about this gun. Now the slide cuts and the milling really are just a different program on the CNC machine. The grip module is just a different laser program, by and large. And the barrel and the trigger, they just got a bath in titanium nitride. It's essentially a kind of a PVD coating. It brings added lubricity and in theory will add to reliability for the operation of the Spectre Comp over other firearms that don't have that kind of coating on the components. I can tell you from my experience that other titanium nitride coated gun parts I've used in the past were much easier to clean because carbon and other fouling just doesn't stick to it as easily. So it's easier to wipe off. But SIG did absolutely nothing to the trigger pull or weight as compared to the standard XL, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So this custom shop logo and the marketing of that really are a bit of a stretch even for me, and I'm an unapologetic SIG fanboy. But this gun still did speak to me. I really think it's a pretty interesting firearm. The only way it really made any sense to me to buy it is because I already had the P365XL that in theory I could sell. I may not do that. Again, I'll talk more about that here in a couple of minutes. Now, some have suggested that this pistol may become collectible in the future. I have no idea how many of these SIG made in their initial run or will continue to make. Now, SIG gives you a nifty certificate with this gun, that it's certified custom from SIG Custom Works. The problem with that is there's, usually a certificate like this would state that this gun is one of X number of examples that was produced. But the gun doesn't have any kind of a production number associated with it. So I'm just not sure that this firearm will be collectible in the future. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a polymer defensive, duty firearm. It's a tool. But I didn't buy it thinking it would appreciate. That's not something that I was looking for. I bought it because I thought it was an interesting direction for a defensive firearm, a step forward, and I thought it looked cool. And I'm a sucker for things like challenge coins. This very well done challenge coin does come with the firearm. Pretty nifty. You'll probably be seeing that a lot on my Instagram channel. And overall, I think the gun is really well done. And let's be honest, even if you buy a less expensive firearm, it's really not hard to spend over $1,000 on a pistol modifying it to your preferences. For example, milling a firearm to accept a red dot can run $300 to $500 alone if you need to do that. A good stipple job on the grip to make it more to your liking, that's going to run at least $100, maybe more. Changing the iron sights, that's going to run you at least $100. The nice thing about the SIG Spectre Comp is that it has all that and more right out of the box. So what it doesn't have, again, is any sort of improved trigger over the standard P365XL, but fortunately, the standard P365XL trigger is pretty good right out of the box, and it does just get better with use. Just for giggles, I did test both firearms on my trigger pull weight scale. The Spectre Comp trigger came in pulling at 4 pounds 12 ounces, and that's probably below average for most defensive firearms. Most Glocks, even some other SIGs, usually are north of 5 pounds, can even run in the 6 to 7 pound range. What was interesting to me is that the standard XL came in with a pull average of just 4.11 ounces, so almost identical. And again, that was a bit of a surprise because I would have expected the standard XL, which I've shot quite a bit and dry fired quite a bit as well, I would have expected it to perform that test a little better, maybe be as much as a half pound lighter in pull weight. Typically, again, a striker fired gun will lighten and improve with use. So the fact that this one came in with basically an identical test result makes me wonder if the titanium nitride coating on the trigger extends to some of the friction parts internally. I have not pulled out the fire control unit to examine that very closely. It doesn't look like the entire fire control unit is coated in titanium nitride, but just a thought that there may be some other parts in there that have the coating. I'll take it apart and try to confirm or deny that at some point. Remember that this firearm, again, is designed to be a defensive carry firearm, not a competition gun, so I really respect the decision not to modify the trigger to have an even lighter pull weight. Again, particularly when the standard P365 trigger, it really is one of the best out-of-the-box striker fire triggers on the market. Not only in terms of just pull weight, but pre and post travel. It's got a really nice audible reset. Nothing here in the magazine, of course. For all the YouTube Nazis, there's nothing in the firearm. But if you want to, you got some slack here once you take that up. Really, really nice trigger pull and then the reset. Very nice reset. A little spongy, but not bad at all for a striker fired gun in my personal opinion. Now, part of the is it worth it question for this firearm is, can you buy the Spectre Comp shooting experience for less money? And I say that because SIG has said that they will eventually make these custom shop slides. It may not be marked custom shop, I don't know, but they will make these slides with the integrated comp available for separate purchase. So if you have the standard P365XL, should you wait for the slide and not pay the $1,300 price tag for the Spectre Comp? Interesting question. Now remember that you'll also need a 3.1 inch barrel. If you have a P365, the standard version that I just showed you in my pocket holster here, if you have this gun as well, you are golden, because the barrel in your P365 will fit and can work in the Spectre Comp slide. You just pull out the 3.1 inch barrel in your P365 and put it in the slide of your Spectre Comp here, assemble the gun, and you'll have essentially a non-custom shop version of the P365XL that will in theory shoot just as well as the actual Spectre Comp. Now, how much will that slide cost? We don't know at this point. I'm guessing it will be not less than $500. If you look at some of the other custom shop milled slides that you can purchase from SIG for P320s, for example, they're usually $500 and up. Now, a standard black P365 barrel can be purchased from SIG for just 180 bucks. So you can purchase that if you don't have a P365 and a P365XL to kind of do this. You can buy just a standard black barrel again. It shows it on their website for $180. They sell a gold titanium nitride finished version that costs just about $50 more for $230. So I'm guessing you'll need to spend between $700 and $750 to cobble together your own version of the P365XL. So let's say you got a really good deal on your P365XL. You got it for $600. If you got your parts for $700, you're still in this gun for $1,300. And you don't have the laser cut grip. That's another $90 from the SIG website. You can buy these separately. I didn't see any in black. I only saw them in, I think, Legion Gray. It might not have been Legion Gray. It might have been another shade, but I'll call it Legion Gray. And they also had them in, I think, Flat Dark Earth or Tan. But you can get, this grip pattern again for $90 for a grip module from the SIG website. And again, you don't have any of the extra collectible stuff that comes with the Spectre Comp, like the bragging rights, or the nice custom shop markings, or any of that other stuff. So suddenly, the $1,300 asking price for the Spectre Comp here doesn't look so crazy. Really, in fact, it makes more sense in my mind to sell my current P365XL and buy the Spectre Comp than it does to wait for the eventual slide to come out and to buy that. But I might not actually sell my P365XL, and here's why. I have been shooting compensated rifles and pistols in the competition arena for many years, and I can tell you they get extremely, extremely dirty, and eventually carbon and lead builds up in the chamber of the comp, which creates reliability issues. And you've got about 3 choices for cleaning a traditional compensator. Firstly, you can scrape the carbon out. You scrape that carbon and lead out. This is very tedious, time-consuming, and it can damage the compensator in the process. Not an ideal solution for this firearm because, again, of the integrated comp design. You're not going to easily replace that comp if you damage it. Now you can submerge a compensator in a special dip solution made from 1/2 vinegar and 1/2 hydrogen peroxide. I use this quite a bit when I clean my compensators and some other gun parts. Now when you submerge a traditional compensator into this dip, the acidic compound essentially eats the buildup lead and carbon away, leaving the surrounding metal unharmed. Plastic, however, in most cases is going to also be damaged by the dip process, which means the green areas of the X-ray sites here that are on the slide, if you were just to take the slide and drop it into a container with this dip, that's I'm guessing probably going to get damaged by the dip solution. It might even eat away the custom shop paint here as well. Some compensators really are made to essentially be disposable items. Again, this buildup that gets onto compensators really is a bear. So when they get so gunked up, that they're not functioning properly or they're interfering with the operation of the firearm, you can throw them away and buy a replacement. Now, who knows if that will even be an option for this firearm in terms of being able to get a new custom shop slide at some point. SIG, again, has said they're going to make more slides, with the integrated comp, but they may not have the custom shop markings on them. Who knows? Obviously, it will be more expensive than simply replacing the sights. I suppose you could try dipping the slide, and if it damages the sight, you could just replace that it's really going to kind of depend on you and how risk tolerant you are. I think your best bet is if you intend to shoot this gun a lot, and I'm going to say more than 1,000 rounds a year, you'll really want to try to rig up some sort of a jig so that you can kind of submerge the chamber here, and part of the slide surrounding here submerged in a dip compound, but keep it suspended. So something that will hold it just high enough so that the comp is submerged, but it doesn't go past that, so that it reaches, into the plastic areas. I'd advise shooting lead-free bullets on the range, such as Federal Syntech ammo. That will go a long way to help reducing the crap that builds up into the comp. What I may do as well is, I simply might buy another grip module that looks like this one from SIG, with this grip pattern, and put it on my, P365XL and, practice with this. Because that, in most cases I'll just practice with this, with the new grip module, and not shoot this so much and get the comp all gunked up. That I think that will make things a lot easier. And I think the other reason to do that, to use your standard 365XL as your range gun, your practice gun, is that this titanium nitride coating, that it is again essentially a PVD coating, that is going to show wear. You're going to wear through that, every time the slide reciprocates. Yeah, I'm probably going to do most of my shooting with this gun and try to keep this one a bit more pristine. Now, I really haven't made up my mind as to whether or not I'm moving the Romeo Zero optic currently on my standard XL over to the Spectre Comp. The Romeo Zero definitely is not my favorite optic that I've ever owned and tested. I do have a Romeo Zero Elite on order from SIG. Apparently that one addresses a lot of the shortcomings that are part of this Romeo Zero. But it'll probably be another month or so before I get it. I'll be definitely doing some testing and a review with the new optic, but I may just carry this one with irons until the Elite comes. And I am a big fan of the X-ray sights. I do just want to point out too that, and you've probably seen this in a lot of other videos, on this slide SIG did change how they do this piece here that is on the slide that is removable so that you can mount an optic. On the 365XL, this whole thing is essentially further back and encompasses the sights. When you remove this on the standard 365XL, you remove the rear sights. That's why the Romeo Zero is kind of designed to give you back those rear sights. I have it turned off right now. That's why you're not seeing a dot. But a lot of people don't like that because there's nothing here that if the red dot fails and you're only using the front sight and the rears in the dark, there's nothing illuminated on the rears that gives you a reference point. So with the rears that are on the Spectre Comp, and again will be part of the new slide that SIG will eventually make available, you've got rear sights on this that are illuminated. These are night sights, and they're similar to competition rear sights in that they're mostly blacked out. Competition shooters will really like this. So that is technically an improvement. I'm interested to see how this looks once the Romeo Zero is mounted to that. So there you have it. There's my part 1 of the truth about the P365XL Spectre Comp. So far, I really do like it. I bought it as an early birthday present to myself, and I'm not at all unhappy at this juncture. Look for my range video coming soon. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.
I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.